attitude. Sound construction, good dialogue, laughs in the right place, highly commercial.
Oh, that's wonderful, darling. I'm so happy for you, for the both of us.
Happy? Why on earth happy?
That is yours, isn't it? The idea you had in August.
The idea I had in August has gone the same way as the idea I had in June, the idea I had in whenever it was before then. In the fireplace, up the chimney, and out over Fairfield County. Pollution in its most grisly form. This arrived in the mail this morning. The property of one Clifford Anderson. Dear Mr. Bull, I hope you don't mind me sending you my play Deathtrap, which I finished retyping at 2 o'clock this morning, since I couldn't have done it without the inspiration of your own work and the guidance and encouragement you gave me last summer. I thought it only fitting that you be the first person to read it. If you find it 1/10 as good as any of your own reviewers, I'll find my time well spent in the fee for your seminar more than adequately recompensed.
That's nice.
No, it isn't. It's wholesome. Please excuse the carbon copy. The local Xerox machine has been on the fritz, and I couldn't stand the thought of waiting a few more days to see my firstborn child off to its spiritual father. My Italian, his American. Call me or write as soon as you finish reading it, and tell me whether you think it's worthy of submission, etc., etc. Son of a bitch even types well. I think I remember him. Enormously obese. A glandular condition. 400 pounds. I wonder where he got my address.
From the university.
Probably.
Is it really that good? First play?
It can't miss. A gifted director couldn't even hurt it. It'll run for years. It'll stock an amateur rifle, feeding close generations of Andersons. Needs would be opened up for a movie. George C. Scott and Liv Ullmann.
And Chevy there?
There's a partner for her, too. The damn thing's perfect.
Well, I should think you'd be proud that one of your students is in a fallible play.
For the first time in 11 years of marriage, darling, Love is dead.
My goodness.
I'm doing within me. I could take a club there and beat him over the head and bury him in a 400-pound hole somewhere. Doing the thing off under my own name to Hal Trent or David Merritt. Now, there's the best idea I've had in ages. Oh, my Christ, please. I mean, what's the point of owning a club if you don't use it once in a while?
You'll get an idea of your own any day now. And I'll put up with a better thinking that way.
Don't bet on it. Not that you have any money to bet with.
We're doing very nicely in that department. No one credit is at the door.
But for how long? Just about cleaned you out now, haven't I?
We've cleaned you out. We've been warm and light every day of the way. The next little thing that you perfect now.
Thanks. This is what I need. Easy and refreshing.
Why do you call from their attention? Can you do it? Can you mention it sometime?
A finder's fee, you mean?
Is that what it's called?
A great and glorious 1%. Maybe 1.5.
Or better yet, why don't you do it yourself? You've been involved in enough production to know how to do it, and it proves to be a beneficial thing to take.
Darling, I may be devious and underhanded enough to be a successful murderer, but not, I think, a Broadway producer. One mustn't overestimate one's talent.
Collaborate with them. Isn't there room in this place for improvement as good as it is? A little professional reshaping, resharpening.
That's a possibility.
He'd be thrilled to jump to work with you.
We'd split it 50-50.
And you get top billing.
Naturally. Reverse alphabetical order, dear boy. It's done all the time.
On the basis of who you are.
Sydney Forflop Fool.
Sydney, author of the Murder Game rule.
Oh, yes, the murder game. Isn't that back in the time of King Arthur?
Not quite that long ago.
18 years, love. 18 years. Each one flying faster than the next. Nothing received like success. That is a good one, isn't it? Maybe I can write it in somewhere. There's a has-been after who can say it. Proceed, EDE, right?
Yes. You see, you would improve it.
Give it the inimitable Sydney Frugal flavor. Close in Boston.
Why do you call him now? Where do you live?
Up in Milford. You don't like the club?
No, definitely not. Blood on the carpet, and the next day Helga Tendorf will be picking up the psychic vibration.
In Holland? I doubt it very much.
Sydney, what were you smoking last Friday night when the rest of us were smoking grass? Taken to the Dane cottage for 6 months. He's doing a book with Paul Wyman. He was impersonating her for 15 minutes.
Oh, I thought he was finally coming out of the closet.
You see what a fine murderer you'd be? Helga Tendorf practically moved in on your doorstep, and you not to hear about it.
That does give one pause.
It certainly should. Nan and Tom Weston had us for dinner last week, and she told Tom about his factory and the money he put in the silver and his father's things for tall women. Then she warned Nan that her automobile was going to leave, which she did 2 days later. And she found a set of keys that Nan lost in 1969. They were in a clothes dryer.
She's in the McBain cottage?
Right over yonder, picking up our position on her radar this minute, most likely.
Well, it seems as though Mr. Anderson has himself a collaborator. Not that I really believe in ESP.
The police in Europe seem to. That's half of why she's here. Supposed to be rescued for pointing out murderers.
Wait a minute. That one didn't stay the full week. And his name was Glenn or Quincy. Anderson. I wonder if he's the one with the awful stem.
Easy way to find out.
Yes. This may be a 3-hour conversation. Busy. Probably talking to Merrick. What's for dinner?
Salmon.
Again?
Yes. Did you actually kill someone to have another successful play?
Don't be ridiculous, darling. Of course I would. Spoken in jest, Miss Tindorf.
Mrs. She's divorced.
Well, no wonder. Would want to be married to a woman with ESP. Well, don't fix me with that basilisk stare. Whatever basilisk happens to mean. Wouldn't you like to go into Sardi's, cheering the knowledge that we wouldn't be seated in the kitchen? How much this play could net us over on today's market? $2 million. That's not including the Deathtrap t-shirt. Well, if that's not a reasonable motive for murder, I'd like to know what is. Wish you hadn't told me about her. Here we go. Hello, Clifford Anderson. This is Sidney Brule. Yes, as a matter of fact, I have. Finished it about 15 minutes ago. And I must tell you in all sincerity, you have an enormously promising first draft. As I was telling my wife, Myra, if you give us a reshaping it needs and point it up in a few places, add in a few laughs, it'll be right up there with the sleuth and the murder game and Dial M. It has the makings, as you say. Oh, I should think you would be. Yes, I know the feeling very well. I thought the murder game was finished the first time around. Then somebody with more experience in the theater took it in hand and helped me to revise it. And improved it tremendously, I don't mind admitting. It was George S. Kaufman. He didn't take credit, though God knows I urged him to do. He was badly in debt at the time, and he didn't want anybody knowing he had a share of the royalties. But look, I could be very wrong about this. What kind of reaction have you gotten from other people? Oh? No one at all. Well, that's very, very flattering. But surely someone has read it. Your friends, your wife, some of the people at the seminar. Oh, well, that sounds ideal. Complete isolation. All you have to do is water the plants and check the thermostat. Surprised you've written only one play since July. I would have tossed out 3 or 4 by now. Yes, as a matter of fact, I am. It's a play about a woman with ESP. It's based on Helga Tindorf. You know, the Dutch psychic. It's called The Frowning Wife. But that's only a working title. I'll have to come up with something jazzier than that. I love Deathtrap, incidentally. The title as well as the play. Or promising first draft, I should say. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Far too many of them to give you over the phone. Perhaps we can get together sometime and go through the manuscript scene by scene. I'm free this evening, as a matter of fact. Why don't you drive down? It's not very far. Oh. Well, why don't you take the train down, and I'll pick you up at the Westport station and run you over. It'll be better that way anyway. Yes. We'd have a devil of a time finding us. We're way off in the woods. We have to send up flares every time we're expecting people. I'll hold on. His car is in for repairs, and he's house sitting for a couple in Europe. He's unmarried.
Do you think he'll be open to the idea of collaborating?
Yes, I think he might. Was George S. Kaufman still alive when the murder? Yes? That's a bit early. What's the next one? That's a bit too late. Let's make it to 7:29. And there's an 11 of something from New York that I'm sure stops at Milford. You shouldn't have any problem getting back home. Could you bring the original with you? The carbon's a bit hard on these weary old eyes. Oh, good. Then I'll see you at 7:29 then. Oh, Terrence. Do you mind if I call you Terrence? Why? Oh, God, Clifford. Clifford. I'll be a few minutes late, Clifford. I have some errands to run. So wait for me by the station, and I'll see you along eventually. The Navy Blue Mercedes. Right. Goodbye. I think he's the one without the obvious defect.
What errands do you have to run?
Didn't you say something about library books? Picking them up or dropping them off?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you did. The Xerox machine's been fixed, but he decided to wait a few more days in case I had any small suggestions to make. No one's even read it. No one knows he's been working on it.
And no one will see you picking them up.
The thought did cross my mind. Still in the habit of planning crimes on paper.
Why did you tell him to bring the original copy?
You heard me. The carbon is a strain. Besides, we should have 2 copies to go through. I don't want him standing over my shoulder for 2 hours exhaling a cheeseburger.
I'm sure he has another carbon copy filed away somewhere.
Yeah, it's more than likely. All his notes and outlines and early drafts. Opening night of my dazzling triumph, and his gray-haired old mother comes down the aisle, accompanied by the Wilford and Westport police department. Hello? How are you, Lottie? No, I have an idea I'm working on. I don't want to lose touch with it. It's in the embryo stage. Perhaps Myra might want to go. I'll ask her. Hold on.
No.
They're going to see the French thing at the Fine Arts, too. I could drop you off on the way to the
No.
station.
I don't want to go. Not tonight.
Lottie, Myra will pass, too. She's a bit under the weather. You give us a report on it tomorrow, will you? All right. Have fun. Bye. You don't have to stand guard over me. I only kill when the moon is full.
That's your life now. Why don't you tell us someone's coming over to see you?
Is it their business? I don't know why I lied. I'm just a liar.
You know, the moon was full last night, except for a little sliver down at the bottom.
Oh, really? Well, simply have to exercise massive self-control. Remind myself of that other carbon which almost certainly exists.
It's not for that, Sydney. Would you? Could you?
Probably not. I'd probably chicken out, even if he is the tiny one. You know, they say that committing murder on paper tends to not do a hostile impulse. I'm sure it does. At the same time, it opens one up to the possibility of committing murder. Gives it a familiar feel worth considering. Much like owning a weapon, handling it. Opens one up to the idea of using it. There's a world of difference between a paper victim and a real one. So, I'm sure that Mr. Anderson will go home tonight in the same state of health in which he arrived. Manuscript collection tiny or reduced, relatively normal sized hands.
He'll jump at the chance to collaborate with you. And after that, you can do a play all your own.
I'm sure I shall, sooner or later.
Maybe you could do something based on Helga Pandora, but not called The Frowning Wife.
The Smiling Life, a cheerful enough kind of thriller. You know, there's an idea in this. I mean, a playwright is undergoing a dry spell since a newly hand play by one of his course who attended his seminar. Possible opening, isn't it? The play is obviously commercial, and the playwright has a room full of lessons.
Put a new notebook.
I will. It's a pity she's got the title Deathtrap.
Come in. How's you to worry?
Watch the stairs. You can always tell an authentic colonial by visitor twisted ankles. worker? How'd you guess? Well, we're closer. Is this the club that was used in the murder show? Yes, and the dagger from the murder game. Be careful, it's sharp. The real one was substituted for an actor. It's beautiful. In for the kill, right? Yes. You know, I still can understand why the place is not critics being might be the answer.
The train must have been late. Was it?
No, Mr. Briller. The train was on time. I had to stop and get gas. Frank insisted on bundling the spark plug. You know that Gunsmoke was the first play I ever saw? I had an aunt in New York, and well, I came on a thing with Saturday by myself. Another first from Hartford. She took me to see the matinee, and I must have been about 12 years old. Oh, you're trying to depress me, you made it. How? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Blue, but really, that's how I got hooked on thrillers. Angel Street did it to me.
Hey, Bella, there's that grocery bill, eh? What'd you do with it, you poor, wretched creature?
I was 15.
Sounds like a disease being passed on from generation to generation.
It is a disease. Thrilleritis malignus. The fever pursuit of the horseback five-character moneymaker. I'm not pursuing money. Well, not that I wouldn't like to have some. It's like I have a place like this to work in, but well, really, there isn't a reason why I wrote Deathtrap. It's still an early case. It's not a disease. It's a tradition. Well, it's incredibly challenging theatrical framework in which every possible variation seems to have been played. Can I conjure up a new one? Can I startle an audience who's been on Evil Street, that's dialed with murder, that's witnessed the prostitution, that's played the murder game? Lovely speech. Thank you for saving me for the laugh. We'll come to the blue. I'm glad I stopped you. So am I. Well, I gotta be honest, I'm really a football and happening. As well you should be.
Would you like some tea, Jimmy?
Yeah, sure. You have some ginger ale?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy, Scott?
No, dear. I want some ginger ale, too. Are these on awesome plays, are they? Oh, heavens, no. I haven't written that many. Friends give them to me now, and I crawl in the antique shop. Yeah, now there's a disease, and a super excuse for not working. I picked this up the other day in Ridgefield, 18th century German. Now this is beautiful. Wow. As you can see, I'm taking very good care of my spiritual child, watching tea. Oh, I brought the original. Good. I really should be wearing my glasses, but the doctor said the longer I can do without them, the better off I am. Here you are. Oh, there you are. I get it. Okay. It's found the binder for the Xerox. Yeah, never mind. I've got the final draft here, too. There's a scene between Diane and Carl that I maybe want to cut, and that Richard and Diane scene starts a little bit early, before they even know Carl is back. Did you do several drafts? No, just this one. It's a manuscript, I think it's a side script. If you'd like to listen to the scene, oh, by all means, I would. I thought there was a Diane and Carl scene I wasn't seeing. Before the murder? Yeah, I was afraid the act run a little too long. Thanks. What else do you have in there? Oh, just an outline, which I've been part of considerably. I worked what you suggested. Loosely, case for scene, a seminar. Well, and it's just some lines and notes that I jotted down but never got to use. The way the ones you use as you use them. Yeah, that's the same way I work. But everything was in one envelope, I didn't grab it. It's true, I watched the station, so I had to leave as soon as we finished our talk. Thank you. 2 hours? Yeah, I want longer than that. The Hellman writer was not going to be flabby. I was able to wait till the morning, and you know, I was this close to making it to the Olympic decathlon team. Really? No, actually this close. I was on the Olympic sloth team. Able to fall asleep in any position. Deathtrap. Deathtrap.
Deathtrap. It'll be posted more than ginger ale someday, if he's right about it, and I'm sure he is.
I hope so. I toasted with beer this the other night.
We have some, would you rather?
Oh, this is fine, thank you. Are you planning on staying in here, dear?
Yes.
Do you think I'll order the set description? I mean, all the exact locations for each piece of furniture? Set description. No, I don't remember anything wrong with it. No, as a matter of fact, it's perfect. Couldn't be better.
Right.
You seem like typewriter, electric?
Oh, no. I can't see electric typewriters. If the power's out, it can't work.
What's the whole point in owning one?
Oh, I...
No. The real trouble I find with them, with the Novi here at any rate, is you can only make one decent carbon. The other one's so muddy it's almost illegible. You don't have that problem with it, do you?
Sidney has some wonderful ideas for improving the play, Mr. Anderson.
I'm sure he does. I can't wait to hear him.
Couldn't you do that in the living room, dear?
There's no good light in there.
I seem to remember a paisley chair with a light beside it, bright enough for the engraving of Bibles on pinheads.
Too bright. And the chair's too low. I'll be quiet.
Darling, this is Clifford's first play, and I'm the first person to read it. I'm sure he'd much rather our discussion be in private. Wouldn't you? Don't be afraid to say so.
Well, no, I like you people being here. Well, it makes me feel a little less as if I've been summoned to the principal's office.
Oh? Well, I'm sorry if I ought you.
You do? I mean, all the plays and little things you say. I never thought of calling my typewriter anything up with Miss Corona.
As long as it answers.
Well, look, you're welcome to read the play to Mr. Bull, if you'd like to.
I would.
You know, I'm curious to know how women are going to react to Sam's decision. About the gun?
Oh, Sidney told me a little bit about that at dinner. But he stopped to surprise me. I don't even know who he'll do.
Great, you shouldn't. You know, now, I think that was the trouble with the murder child. You should begin saying so, but I mean, from opening curtain, it was so obvious Dr. Manham was going to back poor Teddy. You didn't leave any room for doubt. I mean, lying with such respect, yes, but they shouldn't be out so for certain, does it? Doesn't that tend to diminish the suspense?
Well, you may have a point there. I wish you would have mentioned on the phone that you wanted Myra to read it. I would have had you bring along another carbon. She could be reading it while we have our talk.
Well, I didn't used to be interested, and I don't have one.
You don't have another carbon?
No, I thought it'd be Xerox and finish the job as soon as I was done.
Well, yes, what's the use of 2 or 3 anymore on the edge of Xerox?
Well, listen, she could read this one, and we could pass pages back and forth. I could sit closer to you.
Wait. Let me think about it. Let me think a moment.
Mr. Anderson, Sidney is his first with creative ideas about your play. I have never seen him so enthusiastic.
Really?
He gets plays in the mail all the time. Finished plays, ready for production supposedly. From producers, from actors, silent playwrights. Usually just laughs and sneers at the most despairing things you could possibly imagine. But I know he can improve your play tremendously. He can make it into a hit that would last for years and years and make more than enough money for everyone concerned.
Hey, is that what you meant by all be quiet?
I will be quiet. I'm going to say something that's been on my mind ever since that phone conversation. I think it is very wrong of you to expect me to give you the fruit of his years and hard-earned knowledge without any quid pro quo, as if the seminar was still in session.
He offered to give me the chance to
And I think it's very wrong of you to have offered it to him. I am the only one in this household whose feet are on the ground, whose eyes are on the checkbook. Now, I'm going to make a suggestion to you, Sidney. I'm going to come to the shop, and I want you to give me your grave, honest, and earnest consideration. Will you do that? Will you promise to do that for me? Put aside the play you're working on now. Put aside the play about eldest and dogmas, fine thieves and murderers, and put it aside, Sidney. Help Mr. Anderson sing play. Collaborate with him. That's what I'm suggesting. That's what I think is the fair, sensible, and rational thing to do. Deathtrap by Clifford Anderson and Jimmy Rule. Unless Mr. Anderson is deferred to your age of reputation, go the other way around.
Well, that is a shock. Put aside the drowning wife.
I thought it was the frowning wife.
Drowning? No, what kind of title is that? The drowning wife is what I'm calling it. It has the women's lib overtone. CSC. Such a timely play.
It will keep Sidney. People are always interested in psychics who can point at someone and say, that man murdered this man. Put it aside. Do for Mr. Anderson what George S. Kaufman did for you.
Well, it's awfully persuasive of you, Myra. How does it grab you?
I feel as if I'm on the spot.
You are, really. Myra put you there. Put us both there.
Well, I thought something should be said before anything was done.
Yes, you're quite right. What are your feelings on the matter, Clifford?
I mean, I'm overwhelmed. We're really honored, but so staggered a bit. I mean, to think that Sidney Rule would even consider putting aside one of his own plays to work with me on mine. I mean, you gotta imagine there I am sitting in the audience, watching Gunpoint when I'm 12 years old. Who think I'm standing here when a
We
chance
get
to work
the
with?
gist of the passage.
I think it's a golden opportunity, and I think I ought to size it up with both hands.
Yes, you should.
But look, thing is, it's as if I went to a doctor's office, to one of the world's leading specialists, and he recommended surgery. Well, even with my respect for his eminence and his experience, I would still want to get a second opinion, wouldn't I? I'm sure your ideas are great, but you're right, Mr. Jewell. It wouldn't be fair for me to give them now without having some sort of an understanding or an arrangement. And to be quite honest, for right now, with Dr. Hamilton, I think that Deathtrap is pretty good as it is. It's not perfect, certainly. I mean, I'm sure I still need a little fine-tuning, but I don't think it's surgery. What I would do, I think, is Xerox some copies in the morning and send them off to some little ladies that recommend it to us. And if they choose they need major rewriting, then I'll be back here ready to do whatever Mrs. Rule suggested. I'll be one to take whatever arrangement is right. But I really hope I haven't offended you. Not at all.
Mr. Anderson, agents know about contracts. They don't
Don't,
know
Myra.
about...
Don't beg him. You'll think you have the wealth of the Indies here, and that we're Mr. and Mrs. John LaFee.
I'd never think of that, Mr. Brule. I mean, I'm here for you going out of your way to help me.
But I'm not really. Now that I've had a moment to think about it, I'd never put aside a play as timely and inventive as the drowning wife to wet nurse work on one so speculative as Deathtrap. Sit down, Myra. You're making me nervous, standing there hyperventilating. No, do as you said. Show it to a few agents, and if major rewrites are in order, get in touch. Who knows? I may hit a snag. It happened once or twice.
Thank you.
Well, I doubt I shall. I've completely outlined and I'm almost halfway through. I've got another play ready to go, based on the life of Harry Houdini.
Oh?
Yes, I'm at the very end now. Look at the success of the magic show. Houdini's always been an idol of mine. You're a pair of his handcuffs.
Sydney?
Calm down, dear. Clifford's not the type of person who would steal someone else's idea. You wouldn't do that, would you?
No, of course not.
Remarkable man, Houdini. Made all of his own magical apparatus. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Magnificent craftsmanship. Have a look.
Sydney?
Sit down, Myra.
For God's sake, Sydney, think!
He's an honest young man. Now, will you sit down and quit being so alarmed that every man who walks through that door? We had a bit of a problem a while ago with a plagiaristic playwright, whose name I won't mention. He's gone to his maker. We're called for repairs. And ever since then, Myra's gotten alarmed if I even so much as tell a fellow writer what language I'm writing in. I hope I haven't offended you. Have a good look at those. They're quite remarkable.
Yeah, it looks so old, though.
They were made to, and apparently solid and escape-proof.
Oh, they certainly seem that way.
Be my guest.
What, put them on?
Yes, that's what I mean when you're holding my prized pair of $1,200 Houdini handcuffs, and I say, be my guest, put them on.
$1,200? Yeah.
All right. Now turn your wrist like this, press and pull. No, you didn't do it right. Try again. It's got to be a single quick motion. Turn, press, pull, all in one.
All in one. It's not working.
They worked for me this morning. Not a question of there not being oil.
I'm guessing just not Houdini, right?
Well, I think I have a key here somewhere. Well, don't go on fussing with them. You're liable to ruin them.
Sorry.
G, E, G. Where are you, little brasky?
Wait. This could be a play. It could, I mean it.
How so?
Well, a young playwright sends his first play to an older playwright who conducted a seminar that the young playwright attended. Now, no one else has read the play, and he comes to visit the older playwright to get some ideas for rewrite. Now, you'd have to have the Xerox breaking down to explain why there are only 2 copies. And the play would have to be a very good one. Well, the one the young playwright wrote, I mean. And, Well, the older playwright would have to have nothing much from going at the time.
An enormous concatenation of unlikely circumstances, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe, but look, it's almost what we got here, isn't it? I mean, the only difference is that you got the dragon wife and the Houdini play and gunpoint. And my play probably isn't what guns were. But I bet nobody will probably get into your car.
Well, there you go. You've licked the second play problem.
I think we can turn to something fairly interesting. What do you think, Mrs. Brule?
I don't like it. It frightens me.
I wonder if I could have put it up here somewhere.
I forgot to mention I should be getting a phone call any minute now. There's a girl that's coming to see me at about 8:30. That's about what time it is now, isn't it? Well, I couldn't reach her before I left, so I left a note in the hallway mirror telling her where I am and giving her the number. So she can find out what train I'll be taking back. So she can pick me up at the station. You know, one hour walk per day is just about good enough for me, so I hope you find it here. You're going to have to hold the phone for me.
How is she going to get in to read the note?
She has to key.
You're not a very conscientious householder.
She's on it.
You said in the card that you didn't know anybody in Milford except for a few tradespeople.
She's from Hartford. Her name is Marietta Konofsky. She teaches at Court Middle School. Phys Ed.
Where did you get the number? It's not listed.
They gave it to me at the university, along with your address. I'm really good friends with Mrs. Beecham, then.
Beecham?
Yeah, the short red-haired lady with the nice shade.
Oh, I hope she gave you the right number. We had a bit of a problem a few years back with another team's phone caller. So he was beginning to bore us, and I had the number changed. I don't think I bothered to notify the old University of Connecticut. What number did you give Mrs. Konofsky?
I don't remember it.
226-3049 or 226-5457.
The first one. 3049.
It's a new number. Guess I must have notified the university and clean forgot about it. How strange and typical of me.
But can you go and look for the key, please?
Certainly.
My heart won't take it!
Won't take what here? My finding the key?
Oh.
I do believe you two thought I was going to take a club there and do a Dr. Mannheim. Clifford, is that why you withdraw so far on stage?
Yeah, I don't know what I said. I don't know my reduced possibilities, right?
Yes, I'm quite paranoid myself. And what's your excuse, so loyal and trusting wife? 11 years of marriage, and she thinks I'm capable of a flesh and blood murder. There's a lesson for you in that, Clifford. And come, uncuff yourself. Deathtrap's a promising play, but it's not that promising.
I'm glad of that.
No, I think your best creation yet is the name Marietta Konofsky.
Hey, thanks.
Lovely, I congratulate you. I can just see the sweat on her forearms after a basketball game, but Miss Beecham's eye shade I think was a bit much.
I thought that was the kind of convincing detail you asked us to try for. But are you sure this is that key? Doesn't seem to work, you know?
Gee, God, Houdini opened them under 10 feet of water in a milk can, and you can't even do it in... Your heart seems to have taken it.
Barely.
We'll give it a rest on the Riviera after the opening. And we'll hire a housekeeper. So you don't have to do as much. And we'll get another car, too. A damn roll.
We're going to be in prison.
A young would-be playwright leaves his house-sitting job. The police won't even bother to dawn.
clothes, and his typewriter.
Well, who can figure these young people nowadays? Especially the would-be playwrights. Maybe you realize he wouldn't be. Went up to preaching college there. Studying the Reverend Some Young Moon. Who knows? Maybe the place might be broken into and poor little Mr. Colonna stolen.
What are you gonna do with them?
Bury him behind the garage. No, in the vegetable patch. It's easier digging. Take a brandy or something, will you? I'm going to be a winner again. Everybody's going to see you living on my money. Picture their confusion. Full moon, all right. That doesn't become a monthly practice. Would you mind helping me carry him? It's been done, Myra. There's no point in my getting a hernia. Thank God he wasn't a fat. Make mine a double. Kind of a chill. Along with aching arms and sipping blisters. Small devil poking a pitchfork into what I think is my lumbago. We're out on the hearthrug. I saw a nice one in the eel top the other day. I have a feeling you're about to deliver a speech. You hold off until I poured my own brandy and sat down?
I intended to. There's something in 1130's melodrama.
Good girl. Damn thing all over. Go.
I'd be very happy living off your money. And I don't relish the thought of living off his. I try to understand if you could do it. Bearing in mind your disappointments and embarrassments about our financial situation. But I can't. And how will you be able to feel like a winner when we both know it's his play? I don't understand that either. You're alien to me, Sydney. You can't just leave from 5 o'clock this afternoon. You have always been very different from the person I thought you were. And I don't think the police are going to be as unconcerned as you do. So if they come here to question, I don't want anything to look suspicious.
How will it? Pittsburgh from Milford. This is Westport.
So check his past association. He must have gotten your address from the university, even if he did lie about the phone number.
If they come, I'll simply tell them that he wrote me a twerpy little letter asking for advice. And I can't. Or maybe I just threw it away.
You leave. I'm already been arrested. You want me to leave. We'll have a few arguments in the living room. Little tips about money or something. You can write these for us. Then you'll move out. I wish you could take the garden patch with you, but since you can't, you'll buy it for me. Because the money starts rolling in. Before the Riviera and before the Rolls Royce. You'll buy the vegetable patch, the house, the whole 9.3 acres. We'll get Maury Escher or Buck Raymond to set a fair price.
Darling, you've had a very
Get away from me!
had a very shocking and painful experience. So have I. I'm absolutely terrified that I'll be caught and completely guiltless of having been insane enough to do it. Look, we'll give half the money to this new dramatist league, I swear it. This isn't the time to talk about anything. In a couple of days, we'll both ourselves.
You are yourself. Right now. And so am I. In a few days. Go ahead. See where to put the letter, officer.
Probably Lottie and Ralph come to yammer about the movie.
Probably help with Pandora.
Don't be silly.
Lottie and Ralph, damn it. We have to let them in.
Do you feel like talking to them? Or maybe you should go upstairs.
No, I'll stay here and let you worry that I'll fall apart.
Come in. Who is it?
I'm your neighbor in Rosa Brigade. Please, you'd like to come in and most urgently speak to you. I'm in Rosa Brigade. Please, you'd like to come in.
Come in.
I'm sorry for so late I come, but when I make these things, you'll understand. Yeah, the room I see, it says and that's like that. And the pain. Oh, God, the pain. Pain. Pain.
Well, neither one of us are up to snuff.
Just as I see them. Why, serious the pain over pain.
They're antiques, souvenirs from the play. I'm a playwright.
Yeah, you do. But why didn't you tell me? We like cook together.
My wife, Myra.
What gives you such pain, Willie? Nothing. I'm fine, really. No, something you see pains you. I'm Helga Tinder. I'm psychic. How tells you of me?
Yes, I was meaning to ask if you wanted to come over.
Since 8:30 now, I've been feeling the pain coming from here. Since when begins the most certain show? I might have treat you and what?
Yes, certainly. Make a note of that, Myra.
Keep it also. Thursday night. What they want him for, I do not know. I called the information to get to the number, but she will not give it to me. So I try and call Paul. See if he is somewhere in with red walls using his chopsticks. So I call the information again. I say, is most urgent. I am Helga Tyndall. I am psychic. You must tell me number. She says, get number. So I try. But all I get is 56, which is everybody, yeah? So I come right over. Because the pain gets worse. And more than pain. More than pain? Yeah. Yeah, something else, something frightening. No, it's the mental fear.
What will?
The drink you would give me. Must keep unclouded the head, never drink. Only when images become too many. Then I get drunk. Spoken this many times by beautiful dark-haired woman. But only pretending.
That's amazing. From my play, The Murder Game. And a beautiful dark-haired actress used it every night.
Will be used again by another woman. Not in play, but because of play. Because of play, another woman uses this knife to put these things away.
I will. In a month or so, I'll sell the whole collection. I'm tired of them anyway.
Maybe too late. I do not enjoy making unhappy people, but when I see I must keep, yeah?
Well, you could keep quiet. You are on vacation. You're not in your own country.
Must keep. It's what God gives you. There is danger here. I must stay there. To you. And to you. Feels like death. Something that carries death or brings death. Deathtrap? Is word in English, Deathtrap?
Yes, the play I've been working on it. That's probably where you got it from. There's a death in the play. That's probably what you're responding to.
No, feels like real death.
Well, I try to act everything out as I write it. Makes it more convincing.
Man, in
ask me.
Yeah, with one of those. Comes to help you, to work with you, but it's half. It's confusing here.
We'll soon be on the lookout for a young man in boots. We're going to be Japanese from now on. Shoes off at the door.
He sits in his room and speaks of Diane.
There's a Diane in the play.
And two other people, Smith and Colonna. No, one person, small, white. A small man in his place with Colonna
I haven't heard that name before.
is much confusion.
Well, that was a most impressive demonstration, wasn't it, dear? The way you picked up the name of the play, Diane and the dagger business. Really awesome.
Remember what else I tell you. Because of play, another woman loses that knife, and young man will lose his costume. At least two things I'm certain. All else is confusion.
Well, will you have that drink now? I'd really like to talk to you.
No. Must be getting back to the house. You will come and have dinner with me, yeah? I will tell you all my life. We made very good play. Have you always had a mystery? Oh, yes, since I was a child. Never could I enjoy a game of hide and seek. It's too easy, you understand. And at Christmas time, parents never read gifts. Why wasting paper? And later in my teenagers, walking with boys. Stuck in again.
Well, what a marvelous gift. I was a bit skeptical about ESP, but you proved to me that it's genuine.
Oh, yes, he's genuine. But sometimes not happy to see the owner out. But usually I make the most of it. Well, must be getting back to house. Wind child, you live in the house with yellow shutters, yeah? Yes, that's right. Always when moon is full, I'm in top form. Well, good night.
Good night.
Remember, Thursday night, no Christmas show.
Oh, that's the best you can do. We don't have a lot to worry about.
You got her in the gauges she saw?
Not really.
She saw him sitting there. She heard him speaking.
But she had the main point backwards. Look here. I'll boil the thing or I'll throw it in the garbage. In a few weeks, it'll all be behind us. I couldn't help myself, Myra. I saw that play going out into the world and him sitting there so young, so lucky. Please, don't throw the old boy out just yet. Please, don't entertain any thoughts of using that dagger. It's just a joke. Another one of our confused images, I'm sure. But if we do get a housekeeper, I want her to have terrifically good references.
Sell the collection.
I will, but not too soon. Might look suspicious. Amazing, isn't it? 18 years. Tanya's aura still permeates.
Put it away somewhere.
Exit dagger into death.
Part of me was hoping you would do it. At the same time, I was scared to death, but part of me was hoping. I saw the money too, and your name.
Look, it was my doing and mine alone. I asked you to help me carry him, and you were too frightened and too in the habit of helping me not to. If there should be any problems, I don't want there to be any confusion on this point whatsoever. But there won't be any problems. In a few weeks, we'll be celebrating. Leading producer options new Sydney Brule thriller. Successful playwright with mid-Indy. Let's lock up and turn in. No, I wonder if murder should be an aphrodisiac. Damn lamp. Oh, blow that beat a bit.
He's dead. I'm positive.
What? I knew it would. If that miner was over much less. I want you to know, you weren't really supposed to hit me.
He added adrenaline to that actual performance. He didn't make a training a darn experience either. How about the Henderson door? Lord, I almost had a heart attack myself out there.
Same here.
You know, look at we saw someone to attack you.
Yeah, but she had to do it with one of those.
That must have been the Garrett that makes it,
Yeah, it's another one of her confused images, I'm sure. Oh, it's just a low she came. Now she'll be telling everyone that she felt the oncoming pain of the heart attack. I've been telling people for days Myra's been feeling under the weather. Not that any supporting evidence is needed, really.
I should get my things in now, shouldn't I?
Oh, why so soon? I won't be calling the docs for a few minutes at least. Don't want them working any miracles of resuscitation now, do we?
Well, what if Madame Tindor comes back?
Not likely. The pain's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, huh?
What if I could burn the manuscript?
Well, why burn them at all? Just old manuscripts, right?
Yes. Besides, we can cut them up and use them for scrap. That's so chintzy. The hell with it. Yeah, I was cleaning out my files when the Grim Reaper struck.
You know, the full charge of the truth, better off you are.
You're a fountain of homely wisdom, Quippy boy. Farewell, Deathtrap. Word that you were the genuine article.
Put my desk right here.
No, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, what's that? Me working in the maid's room?
No, you're working right here in the handsomely converted stable, just as promised.
Then what's the surprise?
You'll find out after you see you. There's something on the side of your nose. Well, go get your stuff. I'll call the doctor now.
All right.
Hello, is he there? Could you have him call me? It's urgent. My wife's had a heart attack. No, I tried that already. No use. Bruhl, Sydney. D-R-U-H-L. 226-3049. Thank you. Bye.
That's the typewriter and the weights for tomorrow.
Ah, little Mr. Colonna. That was funny, wasn't it?
On the way?
No, answering machine.
Working out. Good night.
Good night.
How long is it going to be?
I'm not sure. Maybe a couple of hours. I might have to go with her.
Oh, ciao.
Ciao. Oh, Cliff.
Yeah.
The board's up there creak badly, so do a quick wash up and get into bed and stay there.
I'll buy that.
Hello? Yes. I tried giving her mouth to mouth for 15 minutes, but it wouldn't work. No. It's no use. I wanted to call you, but she wouldn't let me. She said it was only mild pain. That's quite a welfare office.
It was. Everyone had a poignant story. They're creating a play of their own accord. No notes, no outline. It's not fluid for me. It's not dependent on interview findings and theatrics. These are real people. And all I'm doing is let them bring out their dreams and frustrations, their anger and curiosity.
Go back, like a messenger at the door any minute now.
You know, I was thinking of him as a possible producer. Do you know him?
Slightly. Can I see a few pages?
Sure, if you'd like to. But I'd rather wait until the finished draft is done. I'll give you all of it in one glorious bundle. Would you mind?
No, what's another hour?
It's gonna take about 3 or 4 weeks, isn't it?
The way you're going, you'll have a school with me by then.
Nothing doing.
I'm thinking.
Just walk in by her over. Indoor, talk with her much about something. You never know.
You think we should risk having her on the premises?
Well, not when we're moving to school, but any other time, why not? Look at the age she's in on the Griffin show.
Well, she did get aroused when Peter Herco described all of her husbands in such detail.
Oh yeah, Bill Forster called before he came down. She wanted to know if she could bring over a calendar or a tow buggy. I told her man she's just fine. No. We don't want to disturb the flow now, do we? Alright. Porter, come here. How are you, Jimmy? Doing fairly well, thanks. There are a couple things I want to talk to you about. Is that disturbing you? No. Well, we can't take a break. Well, why aren't you in the city?
I have to be in New Haven by this afternoon.
The secretary? Yes.
My, what a fast fight.
Yes, it is. Come meet him. Clifford.
Clifford Anderson? This is my friend, Porter Miller.
Nice to meet you. How you doing, sir?
I called my lawyer, but he probably failed me.
I'm going to anyway. This is a business call. Partly at least.
Clifford was at a seminar I conducted in July. He asked me then about the secretarial position, and when Myra passed on, I figured I'd be needing a hand around the house. So I called him. The next day he was here.
I've talked about your travel.
That was very good of you.
Well, suppose it helps someone I should be go.
Oh, now look at that. Isn't this a beauty?
It's an old antique desk.
Oh, where did you find it?
Wilton. Happened upon it the other day. Made more sense than a big partner's desk cluttering up the room.
Yes, well, costs a pretty penny, I'll bet.
It's deductible.
They can't very well quibble on a writer's desk, can they? Wait till Elizabeth sees this.
How is she? Fine. And the girls?
Couldn't be better. Kathy loves fashion.
And that's what I've heard, sir, I'm sure. Sydney? Sydney? Should I go to the grocery store now? So you, Mr. Mills, are talking private? This is mine? No, I gotta do it in time for dinner anyway. May as well now, right? I'll see you in a second, Porter.
Take your time, Sid. I haven't started the clock yet. He's looking well.
Oh, yes. He's been kind of busy the past few days. You should have seen the first week. It was very bad. He was crying every night, hearing complaining. Look at that.
I'm glad to see he's looking so well.
Oh, yeah, he's doing quite well. His work is awesome.
I'm sure it must be. I mean, I've always envied my writers on that account. Huh. I tried to write a play once.
Well?
About the Supreme Court justice I most admire. But even the title is a problem. Frankfurt.
Funny enough, too much. Too much. All we need is Dawson, some milk, and one kitten. Pick up some yogurt, too. Sure. Anything but fruit. Okay. Mr. Miller, you're not in the parkway, are you?
No, I pulled over on the side.
Great. Great, wonderful. Well, I'll see you around. Next meeting, whichever comes first.
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again. Pleasant young fellow. Good looking, too.
Yeah. Do you think he's gay? Homosexual?
I know what gay means to you. Elizabeth told me long ago. No, he didn't strike me that way at all.
I have a sneaking suspicion he might be. But as long as he does the job, I guess it's really none of my business, is it?
Well, in essence, since he is a domestic employee, in such circumstances, his sexual preference could be a legitimate matter of concern.
I didn't ask for a legal opinion. I merely stated that it really wasn't any of my business.
No, then it isn't.
Besides, people would talk about hired on a female secretary, wouldn't they?
Only if she were under 80.
That's what I thought. So I called Clifford.
I'm glad to see you're looking so well, Sid. Why, that's the main reason I've come. I was delegated by Elizabeth and the Westons and the Harveys. That young man has been discouraging all the callers, and we were afraid that you were in worse shape than he was letting on. But obviously, that's not the case.
Well, I'm not up to socializing just yet, but I'm coming through.
What are you on to now?
It's a play about ESP. Helga Kendorf from the McBain Cottage, you know?
Yes, I do. Tell me, is it true what everyone's saying about... Do you mind talking about this?
No, not at all. Go ahead.
Is it true that she actually pointed to the spot on the floor where Myra was going to fall?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. Nothing at all like that. She merely came in here and said, there's pain, there's great pain, in the lady's chest. And Myra said, there's a slight pain. She said, still, with your history, you should see a doctor. That's what I've been telling Myra for days.
It's uncanny being able to sense things that way. I think you would be able to write a very fine thriller on the subject.
It's coming along. Business time?
Yes. Now, the first item on the agenda is your will. Now that Myra's gone, you really ought to look it over. Now, if anything should happen to you, your cousins in Vancouver would inherit. Do you want to keep it that way?
I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Don't put it off. And this is the second item. It's only approximate because I don't have up-to-date records on the real estate yet. But as it stands, that's roughly what you can anticipate, give or take a few $1,000.
I didn't know there was this much.
Oh, then Myra must have been keeping a few secrets. She knew. Her records were in apple pie order.
How much of this is the government going to ask?
Well, not too much, really. The first $250,000 of it is exempt from federal taxes, and the state tax, which starts off at $50,000, is only a few percent. There's one more point I want to bring up, Sidney. I was talking to Mari Escher at the planning board meeting last week, and he told me that you spoke to him about selling off a few acres.
I'm not sure that I will now.
You can't. Not yet, anyway. You'll have to wait until the will goes into the probate.
Yes, I know. I just asked him what he thought I could get for it.
Oh, then he was jumping the gun, not you. Just wanted to make sure you're clear on that point. End of business. You've gotten off cheap.
Yes, I'm lucky.
So what's the procedure? You dictate, he types?
No, I do my own typing. Then he does the retyping, and I have him do the letters.
Oh, is that what he's doing before? Letters?
No, a play of his own.
Oh, the seminar.
Of course. Started it today, probably finish it tomorrow.
I hope he's not stealing your ESP idea. Have you discussed it with him yet?
No, what makes you say that?
He locked what he was working on into that drawer, unobtrusively, but I noticed. Then again, he may be afraid you'll steal his idea.
Hardly. Life at a welfare office? The dreams and frustrations of a half a dozen people you'd just as soon not spend an evening with.
He's working in a welfare office?
Yes, that's what he was doing.
It may be force of habit then. People in large offices do often lock their desks.
Unobtrusively? I doubt it. I think it'd be the other way around. Look, everybody, I'm locking my desk.
It may simply be his way of doing things. Sidney, I'm sorry if I worried you. The suspicious legal mind. Why, he's probably exactly the way you seem. An honest and helpful young man. Completely trustworthy.
Yes, probably.
Well, I better get going if I'm going to make it to New Haven by noon. Trustees luncheon at Old Eli, you know. Thanks. Has a check from the insurance company come in?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's strange. I'll have to write them a letter first thing tomorrow morning.
I'd appreciate that.
Oh, Cindy, you must come and have dinner with us.
Oh, in a couple of weeks I'll be ready to face the world.
I understand. Good enough. Take care, kid.
You too. Give my love to Elizabeth. I will. And the girls.
bastard.
Damn old world craftsman. Ow! Oh! Jeez! Oh, Jiminy Christmas! Ow! Hey! That was quick. I'll let you get here, let me get those. No, yeah, right. Look, you shop and let me put them away. And get back to your welfare office. God forbid. Open the bottom, chasing the bolt. Again, you haven't had a closer yet. Yeah, sure. Coming. Who are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. I didn't think you heard me, so I came around. Need those Olympic fingers. Here now? Why not? Got some masquerading for it. That guy's in a commercial. That's sugar bit, sorry. Yeah, you can open it, this girl, but really? Yeah, doesn't it say so? Right there. Well, who do they expect to read these things, Roaches? Who's interested in thrillers? Huh? No need for those glib, superficial characters and intricate plots. Why don't you do something real and meaningful, socially relevant?
Well, now, will you? Your idea was like coming soon?
Possibly.
Just relax. It's not cookie. It'll come.
Deathtrap, a thriller in 2 acts. Characters: Julian Crane, Doris Crane, Willard Peterson, and Inga Van Braun. The setting is Julian Crane's study in Ukraine, Westport, Connecticut.
You have one hell of a doing my thing.
Julian is a handsomely crafted colonial house. Stairs leading up to the foyer, spring doors, open out to a shrubbery flanked patio. Downstage left, a field stone fireplace. Practical to the extent that paper can be burned in it. Downstage right, a buffet with liquor decanters. And the focus of the room, Julian's desk. You remember Julian's desk, don't you? The one he used to work at before he took crazy Willard Peterson into his home. The room is decorated with tastefully chosen antiques, 2 chairs, an occasional piece. which is a movie card, not a window poster. And there are an assortment of weapons. Handcuffs, pistols, maces, broadswords, and battle axes. Several of which I'm going to make use of any minute now.
Oh, that's it. You're not going to act at the 11 pages? Or would you like me to explain?
What's to explain? You're a lunatic with a death wish.
I have the same wish you have, Sidney. It's a death wish.
This is going to bring you success.
You hit me that night, remember? I was looking for the... I'll bring back the speech when you're looking for the key. It can make a perfect verse and you'll tell me it can't.
Oh, in which someone like you and someone like me gives someone like Myra a fatal heart attack.
Yes, you need back one.
What, pray tell, is your idea of success? Being gangbanged in the shower room at the state penitentiary?
You know, I knew you had reservations about it. That was my first instinct to tell you it wasn't even a thriller at all. You know, I haven't been putting you on for you. I'll just have things out in the open now.
You knew I'd have reservations.
Well, you do, don't you?
I'm standing here horrified, petrified, stupefied, clapping my hands, and you call that having reservations? I'm not going to use one of those on you. I'm going to beat you to death with Roget's thesaurus.
There's no way anyone can prove what did or did not cause my heart attack. But if I could change things, I would, but I can't. It has to be a playwright. Who else could pretend to receive a finished work for tons of money? A novelist, a composer.
Why am I discussing this?
A surefire smash symphony. No. And would a novelist or composer know where to get scared for sports blood? Or how to finish convincing murder? And they have to be a playwright who writes thrillers, because often all they have some old sample cases hanging on the wall anyway. I'll make it Wilson, not Westport.
Why make it anywhere? Why make it? It's there, Sidney. It's there. That's mountains, not plays. Plays aren't there until some asshole writes them.
Stop and think for a minute. What do you think about that night? Try to see it all from Nadia's viewpoint. Everything we did that night to convince Myra that she was seeing a real murder would have the exact same effect on them. Weren't we given a play? Didn't we write it, rehearse it? Wasn't she our audience? Yes. Scene one. Julian told Doris about a wonderful play that just came into the mail. He even joked about going for it. Then he invites Willard over. Gets him to read the original copy. Audience is doing exactly what Doris is thinking. Julian might kill Willard. Scene two. Everything that happens when the moment we enter through that door, on the ups and downs to put in to make it ring through, the onset and the phone call, but everything. Tighten up a little bit naturally. Now come on. And then the stranger scares Julian as much as the door.
No wonder you didn't need an outline.
It's up here, every bit of it. In the vampire. Scene three. You laugh, right? Yeah, right. And then Julian and Doris go upstairs, and it looks as if the act is coming to a so-so close. Then pow! In comes Willard, out of her grave seeking vengeance. Shock? Surprise? Doris has a heart attack. Julian gets it from the fake beating, and the audience realizes that Julian and Willard are in cahoots. That there isn't any surefire smash at Willard, that Willard is moving in. Curtain. Julian burning the manuscript. Oh, I'm told the doctor. I'm not sure which, but look, be honest with me, guys. Okay. Wouldn't that be a surefire first act? Huh?
Yes, and what a curtain. 20 years to life.
There's no way anyone could prove it. They can't. How can they?
And what are you going to say to the man from the Times when he comes and asks, didn't you used to work for Sidney Brule, and didn't his wife have a fatal heart attack around the same time you arrived?
No comment.
Oh, God.
Look, I know it's going to be a little sticky at first, but, well, everyone's opening up to everything these days. In print, on TV, hell, why not on stage? As long as it can be proven, right? I'm giving some serious thought, and I honestly believe it could help the play. Give it a little added dimension of intriguing gossip.
Oh, yes, I can see it now. Tongues are wagging over the amazing similarities between the new play Deathtrap and the private lives of his author, Clifford Anderson, and his employer, Sidney Brule, who committed suicide on opening night. When inquired, Mr. Anderson said, no comment. I have a comment, Cliff. No. Absolutely, positively no. Why, look, a fieldstone fireplace. Practical to the extent...
Don't you dare! You bring that, I go right in here and write somewhere else. I'll get a housekeeping job. Give it to me. Give it, Sidney. become what I want to be. I'm not going to take that away from you. I really hope that when I give you the finished draft, that you be impressed enough to get over the English to the tightness. But I guess we can forget about that, can't we? A collaboration. New ideas, didn't you? But I'm not saying it's all my baby. See, when it's coming out a little heavy and tilted, I admit it. I was thinking we could become a team. Bull and Addison. Rogers and Hartman. Now, you see that? I could have never thought of something like that.
No thanks, Cliff. I don't feel like collaborating on my public humiliation.
Well, maybe I better do that anyway.
Why?
Well, when the house became noticed that a woman was going through with dagger because of a play, maybe she wasn't that boss target, was she?
Don't be silly. You're my friend. I'd never do anything to hurt you. Besides, I'll break my neck.
Damn right I would.
So look, don't think about me.
I don't know, but I'm not going to be comfortable with you being happy about this.
I'll whistle a lot. Maybe I am being a little old-fashioned and uptight.
You are. Well, it's easy. It's just about anything, right?
Could use the profits from a good surefire silver.
There's a movie in it too.
Porter gave me the figures on Myra's estate. Not worth as much as I thought. $22,000, half of which goes to taxes. And there's a house and a land. I can't sell any acres until the will goes through probate. Porter said that'd be at least 2 or 3 years. The insurance claims and all that might need it.
Is the office still open to him?
I'm not sure. It hit me that afternoon. Playing the meal thing. It should be a good first scene. Really. I mean it.
What do you think?
I'll do it.
You mean it?
Let him talk. I'll blush all the way to the bank.
Hey, we'll make it Wilson, not Westport. The hell with it.
Leah.
Just think of it, man. Me, Clifford Anderson, collaborating with Sidney Brule.
That's from Act 1.
Oh, Act is going to be a problem.
How so?
Well, we've got a murder in Act 1, 2 in effect, and the actor's liable to deal with a slip down.
Not necessarily.
Well, look, I was thinking of bringing in a character. The fifth character, along the lines of the one in the Connecticut version in Shaolin.
Spectre Hubbard.
Yeah, and he's going to have Bronco come in again. A good comic character like that would be cool enough to be making most of.
Well, look. You go on dropping Act 1 and let me do the thinking about Act 2.
He's not here right now. Come in.
I come through wood next to walk.
He's not here yet. He'll be back here in a minute.
You are?
Clifford Anderson, his secretary.
Oh, I am her particular. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. He told me about you. Is it true you actually predicted his wife's death?
Yeah, very sad. She's a nice lady. Very much pain right here. Gee, this room. He's right, Mr. Bruce.
Yeah, he went out to dinner. The first time since... Well, he should be back about 10 o'clock. Quarter past now.
There'll be big storms. Much wind and rain. Thunder and lightning.
Are you
Trees
sure?
will fall.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was on the radio. I come for candles. Have none in house. You have?
I'm not sure. There must be some. So watch out. Why don't you sit down?
Thank you. You will too.
Well, yes, it's very comfortable. Everyone wears it these days.
You were for a long time secretary to Mr. Bruce.
Well, only for 3 weeks. After his wife passed away. I'll go look for the camera. Mr. Brule! Hold on now. Mrs. Hubbs, stand over here.
Oh, hello.
Good evening.
Did you get my note?
tell you.
What is it?
Come sit, very important. That is man in boots who attacked you.
Oh, God. Oh, in all the confusion over Myra's death, I completely forgot about your warning.
You see, candles must wait. I have many candles. I come to warn you. There is danger here again tonight. Danger in this room. You should send him away at once.
I was going to give him his notice tonight. I was discussing it over dinner with
Miss Corona. It is?
Yes.
But of course, Corona, not Kelowna. That is why the young man says where you are. You must send him away at once.
I will. Well, I'll give him his notice at any rate. But I definitely will now that you've come and warned me. Are you sure he's the one that killed me?
Yeah, with him it's like TV. So sharp.
Come in, Clifford. Found the camels. They're exactly what you said they were.
Thank you. I did.
You're welcome to take more.
No, for dinner.
It's pretty blown up out there.
No, sometimes there are with self-addiction. Say,
No need to. I hope you beat the rain.
I guess it would. It's best to work. Well, good night.
Good night. It's awfully dark. Are you going to find your way?
I have thought.
What is it?
My daughter is pregnant! Oh my God, so many times they tried. So many years. And now they finally make me grandmother. I'm so sad. Oh my God.
Hey. And a boot taxi, huh? Yeah, nothing before you came down. Did you tell her I used the wood, not one of those weapons? No, I didn't think it advisable. I told her you were giving me karate lessons and we were throwing each other all over the place last night. Finished that one. Oh, good. Your night was better spent than mine. I ended it with doing a phone. Here, have a look.
How can I go on without it?
Well, yeah, he wants the darkness to suspect, doesn't he?
Oh, the dialogue is Tin Pan Alley, but your timing couldn't be better. I have Act 2 ready to go.
Terrific.
Well, that is, I think I do. There's a few bits of business I want to work out, and if they work, I'll show it to you the whole thing scene by scene. But why don't you go up and check the windows? Sounds like we're getting Hurricane Allison's Zelda.
How many scenes are there?
3. Same as Act 1. I like that sort of symmetry. Julian, the sir, shoot the inspector in the arm. Which arm? Right arm. No, wait. Left arm. Left. Now, the question is, there's only one bullet in the gun. Julian wants to get to this wall, get another weapon. Can a one-armed inspector in relatively good health stop a middle-aged playwright going where he wants? The answer should be no. Let's try it and see how it goes. That's my commission? Right. Left. All right. I'm Julian. You're a mother. Okay. Ready? Ready. You're going to have to try harder than that, but that was a convincing, I think. You're not even to a theater party. Fine. Start again. $5 shirt standing away.
Can't believe the director of the act work job.
That's not the way professional playwrights do it. No. Professional playwrights don't offer scripts until they know that everything in it is playable and doable. Now let's show them why Brule and Anderson are going to go down theatrical history. It worked. Let's go on to the next bit of business. Shorter and much less strenuous.
Out of that.
All right. This time, you're Julian, I'm Hubbard. All right?
Yeah.
Go to that wall and give them a shake. Try it the other way.
So let's go down to this way.
Looks natural. Huh? Well, try it the other way.
Yeah, better.
Stand over there. Now put it down. Stand very still. You have our goodbyes to say. Deathtrap is over. Gun point. No blanks, fellas, as if the barrel light. Real bullets. Courtesy of sure criminals. I really didn't want that place to be written. Nothing can be proved, but too much to be talked about. And there's truly no other way. I can't make sure you won't set me up and simply locate food. I really am sorry, sir. You guys have come to throw right into the lake. Surely one of the most acute cases on record. I just come to you, Rule and Anderson. Afraid of knowing only after the rule. Well, I'm out of dialogue. Here goes. I'm not going to say it. No. Look. Perhaps breathing on a pretty face? I'm going to miss you very much. Bye, Phil. Bye, Jimmy. You know, I thought the clip would be a little anticlimactic. Well, I bought some lights this morning when I was in the wood. For this one.
Yeah, John.
Get out!
You know, the problem was I had a terrific first act, but I didn't have a second one. Very, very frustrating. Particularly since I shared Ruben Bullock, the old master father himself. Author of the murder game, and in for the kill, which I consider a more elegant construction.
Well, that makes two of them.
At present, yes. See my guess?
Put them on.
What I mean, stupid.
What are you going to do?
He's loading. To the arm of the sheriff. But don't play dumb with me, to the arm. So there I am with my problem. And this I can help you. Not voluntarily. This I know for sure one. Disney uses 3 kinds of deodorant, 4 kinds of mouthwash. Not for him, he's a scandal. But is there a way I could harness the servant's dual brain and set it to work for me all unwittingly? So I begin drafting Act 1. And every time I leave my desk, I inconspicuously lock the door. So inconspicuously, in fact, before day and a half, Mark doesn't even notice. But the old porter comes in, thank God, and saves me the embarrassment of getting heavy-handed or leaving a little page lying around.
Sure shit, you know that?
Jimmy, would you mind connecting the microphone?
So, there we are. Full and I write these things. I don't do much sleep around here.
Last night, for instance. My brother got a whiff of all that tiptoeing that was going on last night. But I'll make it up, won't I? Thank you for Act 2. No Inspector Hubbard. Julian's lawyer is a good character. Scene 1. Julian finds out that Willard is writing a real Deathtrap about George's murder. Would change things, of course. Then he calls old Peter Pilgrim or something to check up on Willard, knowing that there are false and unfair charges to be found. Scene 2. Julian sets up Willard for what will look like a real murder in self-defense by getting Willard to enact bits of business of his way. That's beautiful, Sydney. Beautiful! You know, everything we just did, it'll play out your dream. And I never would have thought of it. I'm ruining your day. Julian shoots Willard, who's basically an innocent kid left right alone by Willard. Fast! But Ingeborg's boss and Peter Pilgrim come in. She's been calling him because she's getting bad vibes all night. Willard is just as thought that something about himself, Julian, and about George. Then Julian shoots himself. Kurt. You know scene 3? No, they're both dead. It's over.
Sounds a little unsatisfying. I'd be happy to write something more.
No, I'm gonna have to fill in the hole. Where is it at?
I left it upstairs. Order page for them.
That's okay. Now I'm going to pack the call taxi. Take all the money I can find. Before I leave, I'm going to give you the key. You're going to tell people that you're using my notice, and I'm accepted with charm and grace. And if you tell anybody, I guess you're going to say that a whole lot, aren't you? Like I said. Tell anybody that I have to do, or I told anything, you're going to be opening up a very big can of worms. How about that? You still got a little bit of interest in you, doesn't it? Who knows? I might find some things upstairs. See what Oh, Clifford! Those were hang in there, Connecticut light and power. That's roll. Come on, damn police department. Hello? This is Sidney Brule. I live out here on Rabbit Hill Road. I just killed my secretary. Oh, she came out with a machete. Really? You're not going to believe this. You're probably going to think I'm drunk. But I'm stone cold sober. I shot him with a medieval crossbow. Come on out and check for yourself. But you better bring flashlights. Brule. B-R-U-H-L. Oh, nice of you to know. His name was...
What? She died of a heart attack.
They make it to happen. It's pain she feels. Is that she sees Rune kill boy.
Now hold on a minute.
Quiet! Rune shows her play from boy. Good play. Boy calm. Rune kills. Around neck. Tight. She helps him carry boy out. Pain brings me. But now I'm gone. And boy is from grave. No. No, I tried to. No! She died.
My God. A fake murder to bring about a real one? Are you sure that's what happened? I thought it was strange. The boy coming in on such short notice.
Was no play.
There wasn't?
But now boy likes it. Everything they have done. Ruin discovered.
I saw the boy locking his drawer.
Ruin is afraid. Play with spring stain.
A play about them killing Myra. I'll bet he was afraid.
Pretend to have six boys to take big knife. Shoot with gun. Jaws. But there's no bullet. Boys 15. Put a six boys on staff with arrows.
And dragged him in and put them by the machete.
Burn snake.
The ashes in the fireplace.
Call police.
And while he was speaking,
Boy pulls arrow from chest and attacks. Just as I saw 4 weeks ago.
God, what a story! Why, it's better than a murder game.
You are thinking it could be play?
It certainly has the feel of one, doesn't it? I mean, everything happening in one room, 5 characters.
Deathtrap.
Deathtrap. Say, that's a catchy title. Deathtrap. You know, I couldn't write Frankfurter, but maybe I could write Deathtrap.
Stop, this is my idea.
Your idea? How can you say that? Why, it was Sidney's idea. And the boys. They lived it.
But if I not tell you, not know.
True. I can't deny that. And you supplied me with a title, which I may or may not use.
We share money half and half.
Are you serious? I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna work nights and weekends for months, maybe even give up my vacation time. All you've done is come in here and touch the furniture for 2 minutes. If I do, in fact, do anything
If
that...
you not ceremony, I tell about telephone.
Telephone?
You speak through handkerchiefs in a high voice. Say dirty words to all your friends. Big important lawyer like you. Don't say wife and 2 daughters. No, 3 daughters. Next one, telephoning?
No. You're mistaken. No. How? Why? Why? You interfering busybody! You got that? You're right.